That's it.
We're good?
Yep. Okay. And it's pretty much going live at this point.
So we're live right now.
Theoretically, yes.
Theoretically.
With the way things have been going today, it could be anyone's guess.
This is true, but hey, we did actually get it to work. So hello, everybody. We are actually in a new location for Tech Talk today, streaming on a different channel. I know this is probably confusing to a lot of you guys, but just hang in there with us. I am here with Mr. JayzTwoCents himself, the founder and creator of Tech Talk.
I'm confused too.
I'm just a co-host, but we're broadcasting in the Nerd Cave, and we have a weird, different overlay. And
a weird different.
It's a little bit confusing, and yeah.
This is what happens when you decide within the last 30 minutes before a stream to be like, oh yeah, we need graphics.
I know, we don't even have any topics tonight either. Usual us.
I guess it's time to run that intro. It's the Tech Talk intro.
Yeah.
Shut up here. Yeah, be quiet.
Stupid. Yeah, we're gonna talk.
I almost said the bad word.
It's okay to say PG.
Who the hell did that intro? That's the worst intro
dude.
ever.
I don't know, that was horrible.
Oh my gosh.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for showing up again. If you guys don't recall, a very, very long time ago, well, actually just last year, I went down to Southern California to see Jay, so he decided to return the favor and come on up here and hang out in the Nerd.
But that was in June. You know that was 8 months ago. You had just hit 100K.
I know. What am I at now?
355 something?
355?
I know, you keep rubbing it in, like
the pressure.
356. I don't know.
The pressure, dude, the pressure. It's just the pressure.
I'm sure that's just a weight-related thing, though.
So hopefully the stream... You're a dick. I hate you and your diet. Hashtag Jay's a dickhole. But, and for all you guys that are here that have not watched Tech Talk before, just so you know, the hashtag Jay's a dickhole thing, that is a running joke. It is endearing towards Jay. It is in no way considered a troll.
Anytime I see just a random tweet like Jay's a dickhole, I kind of giggle inside a little bit.
Honestly, if you think Jay should create a hashtag Jay's a dickhole t-shirt, push 1 in the chat right now.
People are saying the audio is a little out of sync. That's kind of normal for XSplit. Nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, and God, so XSplit, we had a little bit of an XSplit adventure. So I had to re-sign up for XSplit because mine recently expired, my subscription. So I signed up again, and I downloaded XSplit version 2.0, brand new shiny.
It's 2.1.
It was 2.1? Okay, so 2.1, but we were using 1.3 before, so it was a complete new major version. And it looked completely different, and Jay and I were both like, huh? Well, we set it up, and it had, like, mad bugs and issues.
I don't know. It's funny, too. They should really put more of, like, this is a beta, because it certainly cannot be, retail ready.
No.
It's terrible.
No, it was straight up horrible.
Whoever said ship it on that was, like, fire.
That's like an alpha. I mean,
there are those people that wanted Jay's a dickhole shirt.
Yeah. I want a Jay's a dickhole shirt. I'd wear that. But it is a little bit weird that they shipped that version. I mean, it was in really bad condition. Like, we were literally selecting options from menus where it's like, hey, do you want to buy a license? And then you go and click on the about box and it'd be like registered to, and it'd say you didn't have to buy upgrade. You know, I'm like, this makes no sense at all.
Well, not only that, but then when you logged in, you couldn't use any of the features because it didn't recognize that you purchased the license.
Yeah.
So we're back on 1.3 right now. If you guys are streamers, don't do 2.1. You'll be asking yourself for a problem. 2,200 viewers.
Wow. And just to let you guys know, we are going to PDX Land tomorrow. This is both our first PDX LAN, and we're attending down there. We were invited by Puget Systems, the guys that just built my new powerhouse computer. And I know a lot of you guys are waiting for the unboxing and the review of the computer. I know I kind of dropped the ball on that. I am sorry.
You'll get to see some behind the scenes of the computer on my vlog that I'm going to edit later.
Yes. and none of those, I would like to qualify that none of those problems that were encountered were Puget Systems problems. They were solely my problems.
Oh, you told them there were problems. I guess they're going to watch now.
They're going to watch it now. You got to watch it to see the problems that I ran into. But it was actually pretty funny. Jay was sitting behind me cackling like a schoolgirl while I was struggling and pulling my hair out trying to get my external SATA array to work. And I'll admit, it was pretty funny.
It was hilarious.
So, and the funny thing is, I was already pissed off because of the 3D printer last night too.
Yeah, what made it hilarious was that it happened right after I made the video saying, hey guys, we're going to be live on Jerry's channel tonight, and then everything failed over here. Like, you couldn't even get into the OS.
Yeah.
So... You guys will have to watch the vlog. I'm gonna edit it later. I was laughing. I could not stop laughing.
It was pretty bad. So, but we will be down in PDX Land. It's gonna be cool. We're gonna be down there for 2 days. So if you guys are in the Portland area, hit us up on Twitter. Yeah. I don't know if we're gonna have a meetup while we're down there because the scheduling's pretty tight. But if we can find a location that's outside of the venue or something like that, we might go hang out for a little while, have lunch or something, and we'll let you guys know if we're out in the public and you can come and hang out. We actually had a meet today.
That was fun.
Guys, it was really cool. We actually had a meet at a place called Mox Boarding House. It's like a board game place for playing all kinds of different board games.
I didn't even know a place like that existed.
I didn't. It's pretty cool. You didn't even get a tour. Did you get a full tour?
I got the
so you went back and saw the gaming tables?
Timmy Tech TV gave me the full tour. Yeah. And that is a cool place.
It's actually a really special place. And they serve alcohol, and they have a really good restaurant that serves like very gourmet food. And it's literally like Nerd Haven because it's like, it's nothing that you'd expect. It's nothing like the rat tail D&D dens that we used to go play out when we were kids.
When we were standing there, I got up, right, and we kept getting up and talking, and I turned around and I saw a couple of good-looking women back there sitting at a table. I thought they were just like talking and conversing.
Yeah.
No, they were playing like a dice game.
No, there are hot nerds now.
I was like, oh my god, this is crazy.
It's definitely a very, very cool thing.
Yeah.
So, you guys, if you want to...
don't forget, we got to sign a graphics card.
We did. I think that's my first GPU I've ever signed.
Yep. We both got to sign the back of a 290X Lightning, MSI 290X Lightning that a fan of both of our channels brought over and kindly asked us to sign. And huge shout out to him because they forgot the silver Sharpie.
Yeah.
They went and found one somewhere and came back just so we could sign it.
They literally went to Staples to buy a Sharpie just so they'd come back and get us to sign it. I thought that was really cool.
Yep.
That was neat.
No more warranty, and now has like no resale value unless they know who we are.
Yeah, we basically let us invalidate the warranty on a very expensive graphics card, and for that I'm very, very happy and thankful.
That was a highlight so far of this trip.
It was. So if you guys have any questions for the show, go ahead and just...
They're already asking about Frozen CPU.
Oh, are they really? Okay, well, we'll start off with the Frozen CPU stuff, but if you guys have other questions that aren't related to Frozen CPU and all the crazy shenanigans around it, go over and hit us up on Twitter. Use hashtag AskTechTalk and ask us any question you want. Just realize that if the question is completely ridiculous, we might just answer it.
Or if it... I was expecting you to be like, it was ridiculous. No, you're right. You went the way it should have gone. Mm-hmm. No, and if it's something that's really long-winded answer to, it might not get a response.
Yeah, don't ask me about 3D printers. Jay literally said that I'm not allowed to talk about 3D printers or take 3D printer-related questions because apparently I never stop talking. and he always refers back to the Newegg incident.
Well, remember, Kyle brought that up first. He was like, you almost let someone talk at one point.
Kyle brought it up, and everybody else confirmed it with smirks. I did talk entirely too long, and I am sorry.
All right, so Frozen CPU news. Well, the merchant account for Frozen went in. See, here's the thing. They actually put out a statement. Not a statement. They put out some messages to somebody who was inquiring with them about what's going on. This is the person who owns the merchant account, contacted the data center for Frozen CPU, explained to them what was going on, actually got access to the website through the data center, which is kind of like almost like a breach of privacy thing.
Yep.
But somebody had to step in and stop the orders being placed because orders were still pumping into it. The merchant, basically said orders kept coming in. The people who look at forums and things like that are a small fraction of the consumers that are out there. So people didn't know any better. Complaints were going through the roof. PayPal had already pulled their merchant account. And so it was not Frozen CPU that took down the cart. It was actually the merchant that did it, which is pretty bad when the merchant has to step in to protect the consumers, because that's how many complaints have so far gone on. And guys, you know that last Wednesday, I did an order with them just to say, okay, there's a skeleton crew. Is anything happening?
Yeah.
Well, no, it's been 8 days now, and there's been no progress whatsoever on my order of a little bottle of dye. So there's nothing going on over there. I mean,
it's just ghost town.
They still say they're not out of business, but right now they do at least say that they have no employees. So this is not is Frozen CPU a good place or bad place? This is just simply a save your money at the moment. You'll get it. It'll get tied up right now if you were to buy something. You can't buy anything now if you wanted to. But if you did put in an order with Frozen CPU, you might want to consider doing what you need for a refund through your merchant account or your bank or your credit card. Because at the time right now, while they're dealing with this mess, they need time to sort their shit before they're going to get back to the public. So... I mean, but I think the common question is, well, what about alternatives? This is not a paid thing. This is just who's out there. There's, Aqua.
Yeah, there's no sponsorship for this live stream.
In fact, some people and some companies were even like, Jay, why are you even talking about this Frozen CPU thing? This could be detrimental. It's like, no, this is important to protect the consumer as far as I'm concerned on wasting money that gets tied up in a merchant account that's not being handled. There's Performance PCs, performance-pcs.com. They're out of Florida. Great service. I've used them for several thousands of dollars. I have the order histories to prove it. There is Sidewinder PC, which is a lot of up and down depending on what they have in stock. Aquatuning.us. They don't carry some brands that people like Bits Power and EK, so you'll have to check that one out. And then if you're up in Canada, there's Dasmode. So there are still options out there, but in the US, performance-pcs.com is now like the largest vendor that you can go with. And their stock is getting hit hard, obviously, because people are now moving to them to get all their stuff.
But to be honest, I mean, that's like Candyland for them. I'm sure they're ramping up as hard as they can to meet the demand.
Oh, well, yeah, all the vendors who have product tied up at Frozen CPU, because that's what people don't understand. They think Frozen CPU purchased inventory. No, guys, that's all consignment stuff. So the vendors will send over containers of stuff that is owned by the vendor, and as it's sold, Frozen CPU takes their cut. The rest of the money goes to the vendor on a net 30, net 90, net 60, whatever. So that's how these merchant account work, or these accounts work in places like Frozen CPU and say EK, Bits Power, Heat Killer, whatever. So they also have hundreds of thousands of dollars of product tied up not only in there but in containers that are sitting in customs not being claimed by Frozen CPU. So it's a huge deal. So, of course, they are now rerouting all of that stuff over to Performance PCs. So they should be able to handle it. It's just Hank over at Performance PCs, they're definitely burning the candle at both ends to fill the orders because their orders like doubled.
Oh, I bet. Wow.
But they're stepping up to meet the demand. I've talked to Hank personally, and he's like, nope, we're not raising prices. They can't raise prices. They're under agreements with the manufacturers. And so that's where we are in Frozen CPU, man. There's been no official statement from them. Finally, the merchant closed down the account. PayPal pulled the account. Better Business Bureau and Yelp reviews are going through the.
So in a nutshell, they're not coming back.
I don't think the reputation can come back. I think they can try. I think they can try to bounce back, but I don't think the vendors are going to want to work with them.
It's really sad too because, like, I mean, they were. I don't want to say that they were like the number one or anything, but they were definitely a very, very reputable cooling
Frozen
component.
CPU was the number one.
Really?
In the US, yes.
Okay, so let's say they're number one. It's like that's a business that you could have easily sold. Like just said, I'm going to sell this business to some other company. Worth millions and millions of dollars. Yeah. And now the reputation of that business is so badly beaten down. I mean, nobody's going to pick up that name. That name's tainted now.
But the lessons learned from this, though, can be applied to anybody and anything, right? It goes to show how quickly you can destroy a reputation and how long it takes to build one.
Yeah.
So you spend forever building it, and it took less than 2 weeks for it to be destroyed. So if you're a YouTuber, too, if you start doing controversial things or whatever, you can destroy your entire reputation.
It's a lot like driving sports cars, right? It might take you 60 seconds to get to 60, but it takes...
60 seconds to get to 60? That's a shitty car.
Oh, that's a shitty car, you're right.
3 seconds to get to 60.
3 seconds to get to 60, and less than a second to get to 0 if you slam into a wall, right?
So that's it, guys. There's no new news. I don't think there's nothing to report. So I already filed a claim to get my $12 back, and
I like that you did like a little test though. You're like
I had to because people kept saying, Jay, you're reporting on hearsay. They say they have a skeleton crew. It's like, well, then prove to me that the skeleton crew is there.
They did have a skeleton crew. But they were literally skeletons that couldn't move.
No, the skeletons were all in the closet.
Wow, somebody's trying to get a new hashtag launched for me. Hashtag Jerry is a dick butt.
I don't know. I get it. It doesn't flow like Jay's a dickhole.
It doesn't. Jay's a dickhole flows way better. But come on, guys. You can do better than that. Come on.
Flash your tits. You flash your tits.
You flash your tits. What? Ugh. This is not the real Jerry. I am the real Jerry. I promise. I wouldn't lie. I'm an internet person.
I look so weird without my goatee.
I know, dude. It's like weird doing tech talk from the Nerd Cave. This is bizarre. I'm used to sitting here and staring at your big mug on that screen and everything while you're down in California.
While you're over there chatting with everyone and I'm doing all the work. No, I do it from my Nerd Cave every week.
Oh yeah, we should go check on the here. Let's pull up our Ask Tech Talk.
Hold on, which monitor? That one? That one? Or
I know. Jay walks into the room. The first thing he says is, "Those don't look 46 inch." Just poking me. Just poking me. If you guys didn't watch my room tour video, which I'm sure you did, I'd imagine every single one of my subscribers have seen it at least 15 times. What'd I tell you?
We turned off the air,
We turned off the AC 16 minutes ago,
and now
it's toasty in here. I think I'm going to turn it back on. We'll just have to handle the noise.
You guys are going to have to deal with a little noise.
Sorry, guys.
2 fatties in a room like this.
Here, I'll slow the fan down to nothing. All right, there we go. Yeah, you guys. Everybody always asks like how I keep this room cool. It's 15,000 BTU air conditioner that runs 24 hours a day.
Somebody had made a comment on my way out here. They're like, "This is what grown-up slumber parties are like. They just involve planes." Yeah.
Hashtag Jerry's a hologram. Hashtag bat knife is a dickhole.
Jerry's a dickgasm.
Bat knife is a dickhole.
Let me see that.
Hey guys, push one if you want to see me carve Jay up live on the internet with a dull bat knife.
Where do I get out of this? Let me see how dull it is.
Oh, dude, look at the rust forming. There's actually nicks in the blade.
Wow.
The thing is, a lot of people don't realize that this was actually cut from soft steel, and it was never, what do they call it, tempered?
Yeah.
So the steel is still very, very soft. So all the boxes I've cut with it and things I've slammed with it.
I sort of like how the curve, or the blade is like wavy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. It's like I used to use it for prying things and stuff. But check this out. This is the next bat knife. You ready for this?
Look at that one.
Bum bum bum. That is a water jet. I think it's aluminum, but it feels kind of heavy for aluminum. Does that feel like aluminum or steel?
Oh man, I know. I don't. It doesn't feel.
It doesn't feel like aluminum.
But then again, heavy grade aluminum is kind of heavy.
Yeah, that's true. So what I was thinking about doing is I want to take this one, and it hasn't rusted at all, so I'm thinking it is aluminum. But yeah, I want to take this one and do something on this side to make it kind of like a handle, just like that. And then the other one, I've got two of these, and I'm going to make a batarang out of the other one. Sharpen it and just throw it at mean, evil, trolly people.
You know what's funny is you can tell how sharp a blade is if you see no reflection of light along the blade. This thing is like a mirror. This thing's like a mirror.
All right, let's put it back on the hard drive magnets under the desk so I can protect myself.
A J unboxing.
A J unboxing.
I don't unbox.
I unboxed Jay last night, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
I liked it.
Hey, he didn't complain. Let's see here. Aztec Talk.
I get to play with all Jerry's stuff.
Are there mods on YouTube chat? Yeah, me.
Yeah,
I'm the mod today.
There's a lot more stupid people than there is mods.
Yeah. Whoa, that was the biggest hashtag I've ever seen. Hold on, I need to go back and find that one. Let's see. Jerry's laugh when he said bat knife is a dickhole. Awesome, and the new bat knife is so badass. That was a hashtag. Aiden, good hashtag. I like it. Let's trend that one. Wait, I saw something in there I want to get rid of. Oh, yeah. Bye-bye. Not that I have anything against furry porn or anything, but here. I don't judge. I just push buttons. Oops, wrong one. All right. There we go.
Jerry, still driving your STI?
Yeah, actually, Jay got to ride in it for the first time today. What did you think other than the mold growing on everything?
It's got a lot of get up and go. I just wonder how much weight you'd lose if you got rid of the growth.
I know. Okay, so guys, I feel a lot of you guys want to see the STI, and the truth is I kept the STI in phenomenal condition, like up until about 6 months ago.
When he broke the
I ripped the bumper off of it. I parked it on my lawn, which I learned the hard way. You don't park cars on your lawn because the moisture coming up from the grass and the stuff coming off the trees really screws with it. So basically, my entire paint is covered with mold. All the sheen is gone. I have to
Is it really mold or moss?
I think it's moss. It's green. It's like green stuff, but it's on there.
It could be algae.
It might be algae.
It is green growth coming out of all the cracks of all the body panels.
It's really bad. Basically, I'm going to have to take the car and literally, on a really nice day, go out and spend an entire day stripping everything off the paint, using a random orbital buffer and some abrasive compound and clean the paint up. It's going to be crazy. Are we waving to people?
Somebody said, Jay, give a wave.
All right.
Okay, so let me just say, as somebody from the desert,
yep,
I have never in my life seen something grow on a car.
It's a new one for him. He also hasn't seen a lot of trees because every single time we go to pull into a gas station or something, he thinks we're going camping.
I'm serious. We were pulling into where are we going? Gas station, and I was like, are we going to, what is this, a campground? I'm like, oh my god, there's buildings.
Dude, you asked me at least 3 times if we were going camping when I was pulling into Subway, when I was pulling into the gas station, because literally up here, it's like whenever you pull into like, areas in Western Washington, it's like usually you go through like a little bit of trees and the area or the business complex is in amongst the trees, unless you're in downtown Seattle or something like that. So Jay, seriously, you thought that I was taking him like off-road, like every single time we were going to do something.
Well, it was like they cleared out trees and put stuff in there. It's like its own little like segregated area. Now you've been to my area. You see where there are plaques where like here's where a tree used to be, right? There's no trees. Yeah. They're all planted, and they're what, palm trees.
Yep. And like here, Jay can take a shower for more than 5 minutes without getting arrested.
That's true.
That's pretty cool.
There's no water credits.
I actually let you know too. Like when you got here, I was like, Jay, you can take as many showers as you want. Now I know a lot of you guys. Like when I did the whole ALS ice bucket challenge, a lot of people got mad at me and said that I was wasting water. You guys have to realize I live in Washington. There is no
lack
waste.
of water
You don't
here.
waste water in Washington. Water is literally everywhere. I can go find a puddle in my yard right now and drink out of it.
This is coming from someone who lives in Southern California and freaks out over water loss and water waste.
Yep.
Doesn't water their lawn. And I came up here and I'm like, yeah, you guys are pretty much flooded.
Basically, the reason drought exists is because we can't take our water to California without it costing like $1 billion.
It would cost more to get the water down there than you could sell the water for.
Exactly. So that's the reason why there's a drought. So it's like you're not wasting water up here. All we're doing is giving more money to the system so that
You
they
could
can build
also
a better.
just put a bucket in the gutter and get it as it's going by. And then
I could literally. There's water everywhere. It was raining today.
The water is freezing.
Yeah, and I live next to a river that runs into like
A
an
river
ocean
with actual water in it?
with actual
See,
water.
we don't have rivers where I'm at. We have river beds.
Yeah, for river
I'm
beds
serious.
and lake beds.
The Santa Ana river bed. I'm not kidding. It's dry.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's see. What do we got over here on Aztec Talk?
Hey, Jerry, how'd you guys meet?
Oh, where's that at?
Right there. Your mouse is on it.
Ooh.
Brandon Asbell.
Why don't you tell him?
Well...
Tell the story, Jay.
I was just kind of sitting there doing my thing, and all of a sudden, this guy randomly out of nowhere starts like blowing me up on Twitter, like, "Hey Jay, I love your content. Hey Jay, I'm a YouTuber too. Hey Jay, we got."
Dude, I was trying to get your attention. I was like, "Come on, Jay."
And normally, if you blow me up like that, you're gonna get some level of recognition. Like, okay, this guy is like trying really hard to get my attention. This was a long time ago, like sub
long time ago.
20K subs, and so I finally was like. He's like, hey, give me a follow. I want to talk to you. Give me a follow. So finally I gave you a follow. You convinced me to do that. And he started blowing me up in DM like, hey, man, I love your stuff. Hey, we should collab someday. I really like what you're doing. I think you're funny. Hey, why don't you get on Skype so we can talk? You're like being like super pushy.
I was trying to get you on Skype. I was basically doing everything to you that I don't like other people doing to me.
Pretty much. And you did it all within like 15 minutes.
Yeah, I'm a little hyper, guys. And especially back then, I was definitely on a hyper sprint.
So you were like, get on Skype. I'm like, no, I'm laying on the couch, just chilling. I'll talk to you here. And you're like, okay, fine. Well, let's chat here. After like an hour of conversation during DM, you're like, clearly you're not going to bed. Just get on Skype. So I got on Skype. We video chatted. That was like 3 hours later. And then I basically said, hey, you're a funny guy. Why don't you come on Tech Talk as a guest? Because I was looking for guests to come talk with me. And then you came on Tech Talk. And then here we are now. I'm up here.
I know, dude. And
Basically,
the
we
rest is
met
history.
because he nagged the living shit out of me.
Yeah, that's...
And
you
please-
realize what door you just opened.
I
with
know.
that right
That's
there.
what I was about to say. Please don't nag the shit out of me right now because I don't have time for.
But keep in mind though that when we met, I think I was like a 10,000 sub channel. You were like a 17,000 sub channel.
I was,
So we were
I was a
pretty
little
small,
bit
right?
ahead of you, and then you were like friendly competition first 100K. Pretty much.
I cheated. I used the Korean bot network.
And he's now something like 120K ahead of me. And if I was ever happier for a nicer guy to be ahead of me in subs,
Jay.
I wish Timmy Tech would catch up. And no,
Yeah, Timmy Tech, get off your ass and grow your
we
damn
need
channel.
Timmy Tech
okay?
to come and put this guy in his place.
Timmy Tech TV. If his channel doesn't grow, he's gonna get sad, and we're gonna hear about it. So just everybody, we should do that. Hashtag grow Timmy Tech TV.
But no, I'm not the least bit jealous of your sudden booming growth and passing me up at all. There are people who deserve it and people who don't, and I think you deserve it most of the time.
But true, I'll give you that. But I'm a little jealous of your technical expertise in the hardware area because, and I'll tell you why. Because guys, I worked at a computer store called Mothersboard Computers for several years before I went to Microsoft. And I was literally a hardware expert. Like back in the AMD K5 era, I knew everything about everything all the way up to server class hardware. I even knew about the fiber optic stuff back then, like even when it was like brand new and nobody even knew about it. And that's how I ultimately got my job at Microsoft, was for hardware knowledge. Software was a transition that I made. And when I made that transition to software over the years...
Hardware got ditched.
Hardware got ditched. I was still doing hardware. I was still building computers, but I wasn't staying absolute cutting edge. So it's like, I do get jealous a little bit when I watch Jay, and he can just rattle off this chipset, here's the problem, here's the firmware, here's what you got to update here, here's how you got to do this. It's like, it reminds me of where I used to be. But then I branched off into the software area. So all my expertise now is in the software.
Let's face it, though. That's where the money was.
Well, that's why I had to do it.
Yeah.
Hardware, there wasn't a lot of money in hardware 15 years ago, but software, like nowadays, software developers are a dime a dozen. I mean, if you look to like China for outsourcing, or India, you can get very good developers. These aren't bad developers. You can get very good developers, very, very cheap, and there is a plethora of them. But back 15 years ago, like Microsoft was like, I mean, they didn't care if you went to school. They didn't care if you could code. They wanted you. I mean, I knew the most obscure, crazy coders back in the day alongside of me. The trench coat wearing, shutout kids. They were antisocial and everything, but man, could they code. And Microsoft just amassed them all. And that's why Windows had so many great generations of products.
Barnacules, talk about your 3D printer. Please don't.
Yeah, I'm not walking into that one. But no, I really think that Jay's hardware skill, and it shows. It absolutely shows. Like that, Jay is legitimately passionate about hardware, and it makes me want to get back into it. Quite frankly,
it's just what clicks for me. Like even today at the fan meetup, I was getting some tech questions like hardware related, and it was like, oh yeah, no, you're good.
Oh, people love, and this is the sad thing is people come and ask me questions. Like I get asked on Twitter all the time. It's like, here's my PC parts picker list. Is this the best possible thing I can do for $700? And I look at it, and I'm like, this is a pretty good list of hardware, but I honestly don't know if this is like the best you could do.
What makes me giggle, honestly, is when people are like, hey, Jay, is this GPU a good one? And they'll like tag you in it, and they're like, Jerry doesn't know any better. Come on.
I don't know, but I'm working on it, guys. My expertise lies in the software realm. Like, if you want to talk about multi-threaded software development, application development, game development, things like that, that's more my forte. I mean, the hardware stuff, I still know. I still know enough to know that like AMD's for poor people and NVIDIA all the way. I'm just kidding.
Someone just said these coins are hurting their ears because I was doing that.
Oh, I'm sorry. These are 3D printed Bitcoins.
Yeah.
In bronze fill, so they're like a bronze
But here's
material.
the thing. Until I came up here, I had never touched anything that was 3D printed.
Yeah, Jay was actually pretty shocked when he picked up, here, show him Groot.
This thing is heavy.
So Groot, that legitimately feels like a rock, doesn't it?
If I did not know any better, let's say this was solid on the bottom,
Yep.
I would have thought this was made out of metal.
Yeah.
I guess technically it is.
I tried to illustrate that in the video using like a little scale.
It does not translate to the video. I watched that video. I watched all the videos on your Bitcoins and stuff, and you're trying to explain about the bronze intel.
Yep.
You cannot translate it over video until you pick it up and you're like, oh my god, this is heavy. Even though like it's hollow, right? So it looks like it would be light.
Yeah.
Hell no. This is no joke. So if it was solid, it'd be like kadunk.
If that was solid, I mean, you could legitimately, if this was solid, use it as a bookend
or a doorstop. Yeah.
And the detail on it's actually really great. Like I didn't until I printed Groot. I would say Groot's probably one of my higher detailed models that I printed.
Yeah.
He's not even printed at the highest resolution. He's printed at like I think 0.16 millimeter. But the detail on it's actually really good. A lot of people don't realize 3D printers have come a long way. A desktop 3D printer can actually do pretty awesome shit. And oh my god, I'm talking about 3D printers. Oh my god, here, get this away from me. Take it away.
Okay, sorry.
Oh my god, I'm gonna ruin the whole show, Jay, and eat up the entire thing.
That's on your channel. I don't care.
All right, what do we?
Look at this little itty bitty wrench. That's so cute.
I know it's funny. I know. Where did I think that came with the Robo. I think that's for the Robo Hot
tiny.
Ooh, here we go. This fighting words right here.
Skunkworks versus Barnacules.
So Akil, let's see, what is it? Akil Aurora says Skunkworks versus Barnabeast. Whose is more powerful? First, I must correct you. It is no longer Barnabeast. This is called William. I'll tell you. Okay, guys. So if you guys watched the video where they built the system at Puget Systems, the guy that works their tech support, like their lead tech support guy, sits out in front and answers the calls coming in. His name's William. And during the video, I call William several times to see if my video's done. It's kind of like a running gag. Well, what you guys didn't see off camera is I literally was harassing William the entire day of both shoots. Because William was like a really easygoing guy, and I was just, you know how I am, guys. I try to get people to laugh and stuff. So I was really messing with William. John was like, and Chris, the president and the marketing guy, they're at Puget Systems are like, man, you are as much shit as you gave William. You should name your computer William. And they were just joking. But I was like, you know what? I'm legitimately doing it. My computer is William. So if you're looking for my computer at PDX Land tomorrow on the network, it's going to be / William.
You got to ask to see William. Okay, so William versus Skunkworks, whose is more powerful? You know what? Regarding this question, in all honesty, I'm not the least bit jealous of your system. I'm happy for you.
Well, I know you could build something like that in your sleep.
It's not even that. It's just I'm happy for you to have stepped up hardware as far as you did, right? But both computers were built with two completely different use scenarios in mind.
Very true. Skunkworks is a die-hard gaming machine.
Your room is giving me cancer.
I'm sorry.
No, but Skunkworks was built specifically for die-hard gaming.
Yes. With
enough threads on a X99 platform to make rendering a beast.
Yeah.
Rendering, you should spank me in rendering because you have way more memory, better SSDs in there, and 2 CPUs, 24 threads.
Yes.
But for gaming, I'm gonna edge out ahead of you in gaming.
You will, because you have higher frequency per core, and you have. Are you running 2 980s or 3?
3.
3,980s. So yeah, so Skunkworks is still going to kick my system's ass
option,
for gaming.
With the option to go to 4 if I wanted to.
And I'm capped at 2 because I've already used all my PCI slots to have the faster storage and everything.
Yeah.
The idea with my computer was, since I'm doing the YouTube thing full time and I need to be able to render video and I need all my VMs, which VMs are a big part of what I do. A lot of you guys, I should do a video on that because you guys probably want to know why I use VMs versus physical machines for like the Nerdgasm series and stuff like that. But to be able to have all those VMs running simultaneously all the time in the background without having any impact on the main CPU and the main threads is actually a really cool thing. It's something that I've always wanted to do. And having 64 gigs of ECC memory is also a big deal because the ECC memory that I have, the cool thing is a lot of people don't realize ECC memory is error correcting.
Yeah.
And basically if something goes wrong with the memory that it can't correct, it instantaneously kills the system. Your system's not even going to boot.
Yeah.
And you might think, oh my God, this is bad. Well, it's not, because with conventional memory, if bits start getting corrupted, which happens under high frequency heat, stuff like that, the system will try to recover, and if it fails, it'll corrupt the data. And that corruption can make it multiple steps before the system collapses. And in those multiple steps, you could corrupt data, you could kill stuff, you could kill your operating system. It's better to have memory that just goes, nope, I'm done, if it dies.
Well, there's a lot of people that are like saying back and forth like, no, Skunkworks is better. No, Williams better. Guys, you have to also put into perspective, Skunkworks' total value of the entire system itself was only about $6,000 for the tower. Your tower was like $11,000.
$11,000.
So we're talking nearly double the cost. But all that cost went into like the enterprise grade stuff, like your data storage and your dual CPUs. How much RAM? 64 gigs of RAM?
64 gigs of ECC RAM.
So 32 gigs dedicated to each CPU of ECC RAM.
Yes.
SSDs on the PCIe as well as M.2. So your system was designed to do...
In that cost, are you factoring in like your time and stuff building and everything, or is that just cost of parts?
That's just cost of materials.
So cost of parts about $6,000. I would say my system cost of parts, if you wanted to build it yourself, would probably be in about the $7,000 to $8,000.
So either way, it's more expensive of a PC.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And
now if I had pulled out the $1,200 worth of water cooling stuff that's in my system, then yeah, I could have built a comparable system. Yeah. But I'm not into the dual CPU thing. I'm really not. So for things that aren't on server grade.
Yeah.
So so far I haven't got to see this computer render anything. We're going to do that later.
Yes.
But just from what I've seen in terms of the noise, this thing lives up to everything.
It's dead silent. It's dead silent. And you got to give John Bach credit too for taking that picture. He was so excited both days that I went to the shoot. The first day when we first planned the computer, he's like, "Tell Jay I'm gonna run his ADA test."
Good.
And get him that picture.
And I saw that thermal.
And that was cool because John is so confident in what they do there at Puget Systems. He's like, I'm gonna get him that screenshot. And then when I came back the next day, I figured it was I forgot about it. And he's like, "No, don't worry. We're actually we ran the benchmark last night. We got the screenshot. We want to send it to Jay."
They tweeted me directly too.
And they tweeted it to him.
I really like those guys at Puget. I didn't know a whole lot about them. I knew a lot.
You're going to meet them tomorrow in person.
Yeah, I can't wait. I knew some about them because, Fractal Josh and we talk. And, he used to be a system integrator, so he knew those guys, and he always spoke really highly of them. Yeah. All their demo units at CES last year were Puget Systems. And so I always knew something about them, but never on, a personal level. And thanks to your vlogs of this, I now feel like Puget Systems as a company I would put my money in as a buyer, because I can see the level of effort they go to, how clean their shop was, how organized it was. That says a lot. Organization says a lot about a person.
Oh, you're a dick, dude. No, a lot of people don't realize that, but it's like in the last couple of months, just from stress, having to deal with so many things and everything, a lot of things fell behind. And like my house, I was like hoarders buried alive here. I'm glad Jay that came to visit me because it forced me to really, really put some time in. I'm not even close to being done, but I'm much closer to another room tour than I was before Jay came. So that's a big plus for everybody.
I will say, though, it got destroyed a bit since I got here.
Oh, trust me, you're not doing any damage I can't do in 10 minutes just looking for stuff trying to make a video.
Yeah. So again, I don't look at his system as competing to mine. I feel like both systems, what they're designed to do, kick ass at it.
Yeah, I would say if you had to put it into a bucket, Jay's system scales up where my system scales out.
Right.
Jay's got the top end performance. If you're talking about a single threaded or even low thread count operation, and you're talking about it being a GPU heavy operation versus a CPU heavy operation, Jay's got the edge on that system. My system's more for parallelization. If I want to run servers, virtual machines, and all that stuff at the same time without them impacting each other's performance, That's where this thing shines.
That's why in games I'll pull ahead every single time, not just because of the extra GPU, because we all know 3 cards scales horribly over 2. It's just what thread optimization with that single CPU is going to do.
And I can literally dedicate an entire CPU.
And not only that, my 4.5 gigahertz on the single-threaded applications versus your 3.4 is really going to make a difference.
It's going to make a big difference.
If we ran Cinebench, in fact, we should run a Cinebench score before I leave.
Yeah, we'll do it.
To compare with mine. Your Cinebench would be quite a bit higher than mine.
Yeah,
I think mine would be at the overclock state, would be closer to yours than people might think it would be.
Well, that's the thing is, how many cores do you have total on the machine?
16.
So you have 16 versus 24.
16 virtual cores.
16, right, but I have 24 virtual cores,
Right.
so realistically...
You're already 8 ahead.
But the way that I figure it is, you're talking about having a full gigahertz overclock per core.
1.1, yeah.
So yeah, I think honestly it would be very close.
It would be
very close.
You would be ahead, no doubt, because of the memory performance too.
Yeah, and plus the extra cache. Are those 20 meg cache processors?
Mine?
Yeah. Is yours a 20 or a 15?
It's 20.
Oh, it's a 20?
The 5960X is a 20 meg.
Oh, it's one of the X series processors.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd be willing to bet that they are incredibly close, and I would even edge a bet that you might actually have a higher Cinebench score with that extra gigahertz per physical core.
I don't think so, because Cinebench loves threads.
We got to find this out now. We got to figure this out. But no, it definitely depends on what you're doing. One of the things I really liked about Puget when I approached them, and I really think it's cool because Fractal Josh introduced me to them.
Yeah.
And not only seeing their business and seeing how cool it was, but once I went in there, I liked the way that they want to sit down with you. They're not like, here's our 5 pre-canned computers, buy one of these if you do one of these things. They're consultants. People complain about them being expensive, but listen, you can go to them and say, I want to run this software package in parallel. I want this to perform. I want this many frames per second in this game. You can give them that granular of data, and they will come back to you and say, this is the system that we would build to do that.
Something else I thought of, too, is Deceptive Entertainment said, can you run 3D Mark on this system? We compare those.
You're going to smash me in 3D Mark.
Your GPUs are also not overclocked.
No, they're not, because they're designed to run quiet and cool.
Exactly. Everything I have is overclocked to the walls.
Like literally, you put like custom firmwares on them, and you're running the fans at high. Sorry, you're doing liquid cooling.
Yeah.
So, and on that system, on that liquid cool system, you're running the fans at incredibly low RPM, also, right?
Because I have huge surface area.
Bingo. Okay, so and that's the thing is, a lot of people came back.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Your system right now.
Yeah.
I can hear a slight hum because you are rendering right now.
Mm-hmm.
Your system is really not too much quieter than Skunkworks, though, because Skunkworks is running 15 low RPM fans.
Right.
So that's the thing, because I run huge radiators and get the big surface area, I can run them slow. So in gaming, though, the 5960X will ramp up a little bit and does get louder than this.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is, my system could be as quiet as this if I was willing to not be a temperature whore and be like, I want the temps as low as possible. Yeah, you're 30 degrees Celsius below TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
But I'm like 50 degrees below
that. When you're going, and John never contested that. John said that if I had to put one more component in my system, liquid cooling would have been the better option.
Yeah.
It would absolutely would have been.
But you're so far under that TJ Maxx that's not a problem. My problem is, I'm compulsive in that I want lowest possible temperature.
Right.
And basically the way I tune my fans is to the point to where, okay, if I slow them down anymore, temperature goes up, but if I speed them up anymore, the temperature doesn't drop anymore. I find that tune of fan RPM.
Yep.
Because there is a point where no matter how much faster you make the fans, you're not dissipating any more thermal watts.
Oh, right.
So I find that balance, and that's where I leave my systems.
Yep. And one thing that I wanted to address, too, is a lot of people came at me with questions saying, because when I talked to John originally, he talked about building a air-cooled system that's quieter than a liquid-cooled system.
And it's possible.
Yeah, it is possible, but the thing that people don't realize is that water-cooled systems still have fans.
Yeah.
It all comes down to fans. Everything else is solid state.
Let me say this. Your system is quieter than my water-cooled system, but that's also because I'm running higher RPMs on the fans. And think about this. Your fans are going through nice mesh grills.
Yes.
My fans have to push through radiators, which is, believe it or
gonna
not,
create
radiators
turbulence.
create turbulence, which is noise. So liquid cooling is not the automatic, oh, okay, I have a super quiet system. If you take, say...
I mean, I did it wrong. with my old box, putting 2430 CFM Ultra Kazi fans on it wasn't what I needed. What I really needed to do was go with slower speed, higher air volume moving fans. Take the loss on the air volume. I didn't need 130 CFM. I didn't.
Okay.
I was just going for broke. I wanted to be as cool as possible, but like you said, I went so overkill that the radiators weren't gaining any efficiency.
You reached a massive diminishing return.
Yeah, because literally I can turn my fans down 50% on that system, and the temperatures may be affected by like 1 degree.
Right.
It's not enough.
So here's the thing: you could take, like, say, a gentle typhoon, let's say 1,000 RPM fan, low RPM, and hold it up in free atmosphere. It'll make no noise. Take your 120 radiator, put it against that rad, and you hear the noise increase.
Yes.
So that's what people need to remember: is water-cooled systems, RPM to RPM on an air-cooled system, are louder. You
True.
make them quieter by having much bigger radiators than you need.
Yep.
Thinner radiators, thick radiators require more static pressure, more RPM. So you go with a ton of thin radiators everywhere you can put one, and then bring the RPMs of the fans down to like 700 RPM.
Right.
And then you're making up for the fact that air isn't pushing through the radiators very hard by spreading the heat out through the entire system.
Yep.
That's how you get a quiet water-cooled system, but you're paying way more than you need to in terms of efficiency because you want to get a silent system.
The other thing I thought was kind of interesting too is, one, the Noctua fans are awesome.
Yeah, they're just
Like,
ugly.
They're ugly. Okay, I'll admit they're ugly as sin.
And they
but
refuse to make a solid black one. Even their black one has brown rubber pads.
they must have it in their head that like brown like
That's their
contributes to the
color.
airflow.
That's their color.
But realistically, those fans work so great. But the first thing that I never noticed, something that I just never thought about, never popped into my head, when they were building my system, is they talked about how the pressure wave works from the fan, and how there's an area of pressure, and then there's a dead spot in the middle, like a tornado.
Yeah.
And you
But that's
think
because the motor's there.
right. But you think about putting like fans against something, and you're like, that much of your radiator is like ineffective.
Well, if you look at a dirty radiator, right, you can see clean spots in the
Exactly.
middle. Tons of surface area that aren't affected. So how do you combat that?
Yeah.
You use spacers and get the fan away from the rad.
Exactly. And then the pressure of it having to push through spreads out that airflow and pushes it through.
Right.
And it's little things like that I just didn't think about when I was doing my build.
Yeah.
I was like, let's just grab some radiators, grab some tubing. And that's another reason why I like to defer to experts like you and Puget System and stuff like that. Is I learned a lot on this build. That's what I thought was pretty cool. Is it's like they didn't just build me a system. I went through the whole process with them and got to see why they made decisions that they did. And it was genuinely an eye opener, because if I go back and look at my system that I built, which granted I have amazing parts in that thing. I have an OC Cool pump. I have two Black Ice
Alpha
360. Cool. Is it Alpha Cool?
It's Alpha Cool.
So Alpha Cool pump.
They call it OC Cool, but that's supposed to be an A.
Oh, okay, sorry. Alpha Cool pump, and it's a beastly pump. I've had to rebuild it twice, but the nice thing about rebuilding is it has no connecting parts. You literally take a floating magnetic thing, clean it off, stick it back in, and you're done.
It's a D5 pump.
It's been a good pump. I had good tubing, really good interconnects. I think I spent almost $1,200 on just liquid cooling parts, Black Ice rads, and I couldn't have put them together in more of a wrong way.
Yeah.
The push-pull configuration that I created massive turbulence and noise. I was pushing way too much air through those radiators. They were designed for a much slower, higher pressure air push.
That's the other thing. If you're going push-pull, then you could go like just above minimum starting voltage on those and get perfect pressure across the rad.
Yep, but the problem was I went with the Ultra Kazi fans, which don't produce any airflow at low RPM. They are a high RPM, high output.
That's why static pressure fans are needed for radiators.
And that's why I like the Noctuas. You can literally get them turning so slow that you see the blade.
Yeah.
You can literally watch the blade turn around, you put your hand behind it, and there's a nice breeze.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's really cool, because my other fans that I have, you don't feel anything unless they're audible. I mean, they're noisy. But that's why I bought them. I was like, Ultra Kazi, 130 CFM, more is better. Not always. More is not better, and I'm learning that every single time.
I love that. I love dealing with the science of that and getting it all tuned right. That's why I like water-cooled systems personally. It's just an enthusiast thing, though. I talked about it with Paul's Hardware on his channel.
You have a lot of patience too, though. And that's the thing is, like, when it comes to computers, you are like a godsend, dude. You're like,
you've not seen me behind the scenes,
That's
though.
true. That's true. He's probably throwing stuff and like threatening his family, get out of here. But the thing about you is, it's like, let's say new video cards come out.
Okay.
You go sit down with your computer, you take it off, you take it apart, you do your rigid tubing, you get the new cards in there, and it's like, a couple hours later, whatever, boom, your system's back together. Maybe a couple days, depending. But it's like, you'll sit down and do that. It's like with me, the reason why I'm still running 680s in the old system was because I wanted to get new cards, but I couldn't in all conscience, because it was a liquid cooled system, I couldn't in all conscience get new cards
without
liquid. But then I'm like, I got to get water blocks and put them on them. Oh, now I want to move to rigid tubing, or I want to put the tubing on, so I got to drain the system, put it back together. It was like, that's what stopped me from doing the upgrade, was I can't afford an 8-hour or a day downtime to do this. And the air cooled cards are just like, done.
But I envy the fact that people can be like, I'm going to upgrade in 5 minutes. The rigid tubing, as a consumer, right? Granted, if I was not a reviewer, I would not be upgrading every single generation. So in the past, water cooling my cards made me keep them longer because I was too lazy to tear it all apart just to put in a new thing. So the channel also keeps me forced into staying up with the latest and greatest.
You know what you need to invent? Dude, this solves the whole problem. You need to invent a case that literally has like liquid cooling headers, quick connects on the cards, and like design and standardize it so you can have liquid cooled components that just snap in like a regular fan cooled card.
But the problem with that is every card and every block is the ports are in a different place.
I know, you need to standardize it.
Yeah, but standardization across computers other than like ATX doesn't work.
Yeah, that's true. Because I think that's the only way that you would solve that problem, where liquid cooling would be an easy upgrade, or if you had quick disconnects right at the card.
Yeah.
So the card internally had the disconnects. Because the problem is every single time, and let me ask you if you do this too, because I did do an upgrade to my computer. I added a second card at one point. I had the 680 and I added a second one. I got in there, crimped off hoses, put a whole roll of paper towels in the bottom of the case, let drip, blue, inky fluid everywhere. And even though I got the time to the upgrade down to, I'd say it probably took me an hour and a half to get everything back and cleaned up and everything. It's like I went through like a roll of paper towels, I stained my carpet. I mean, is this shit that you deal with?
Oh yeah, everyone thinks I've never spilled a fluid. Hell, I've not only like had some overflows.
Yep.
While filling the res because I'm not paying attention. Red mist. Got a bunch of red fluid that fell down underneath the acrylic floor I put in there, so I had to pull that out and clean it, wipe it all up because I wasn't paying attention. I've also drained everything into a bowl and had the bowl on my lap, forgot it was on my lap, and stood up and have dropped an entire bowl of nano fluid in my carpet. And then had to go and get my shampooer and shampoo the shit out of the carpet to get it clean.
Did it come out?
Oh yeah, because it was still wet.
Yeah, be careful with the fluids that you guys get, because I got this stuff called Fesser 1.
Oh, Fesser's like toxic almost.
Oh my god, dude. Like, I got some on my finger, and
it stains.
Just on my way to the bathroom to wash it off, at that point it was stained. It was completely stained. I had to let it wear off my finger, and
the nanofluid stains
I dropped it on my carpet, and I've steam cleaned my rug like 3 or 4 times since I've done it, and you still see the spot.
Yeah. No, I've dealt with plenty of like drips or leaks or something on accident while working on the system. I've never had a system leak on me though after it was built.
Oh, wait, here, hold on. I saw a cool question up there. Somebody was asking about Puget. So, Zector45 said, did you reach out to any other vendors beside Puget, like Digital Storm, Falcon Northwest, Main Gear, Origin PC? Actually, yes, I did. Yeah. I talked to Digital Storm. Things didn't work out between me and them. Falcon Northwest is a company. I sent a mail. I never got anything back from them. Origin PC, I talked to them a little bit.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the thing that really made me make my decision was I got to go experience the Puget Systems with Josh. He introduced me to them. Yeah. And one, they're a local company, so I can deal with them face to face. And that was a big deal to me.
Yeah.
And I felt like I could trust them. Like after I went and saw how they ran things and met their employees and everything, it felt like it was a good fit. But that's not to say Digital Storm builds beautiful systems. They really do. Origin PC builds some amazing looking stuff too. Falcon Northwest builds some just crazy super high powered systems too. So
I don't know. Someone said, do this. I'm like, okay, I don't know why I'm doing it. All right, someone said, okay, it's been going and going. Please, Volnerovid, stop spamming. Why can't you post on my forum? Look, if you guys have registered at JayzTwoCents.com/forum or forum.JayzTwoCents.com, sorry, and you haven't gotten your registration email, a lot of them got like frozen in the outbox when we moved servers. So if you did not get your registration email to activate your account, send me an email at JayzTwoCents.com with your forum username so I can activate it for you. Plenty of people have sent me an email like, hey, my account's won't let me log in. But they don't tell me their forum name. They're just like it's their real name. And I don't know who you are. And
well, it's like when I get emails. This is actually a good point too that I want to tell you guys about. Is when you send me an email, say, hey, did you get my content on YouTube? I have no way of lining up your email address with a YouTube comment.
Yeah.
I don't know if I got your comment. So if you guys ever like email me or Facebook or Twitter me, don't ask if I got something. Just ask me again. Just send it again.
Also, to realize that we get like north of 20,000 comments a month.
It's insane.
So chances are we probably didn't see it. Jay being a DX Racer, okay.
Oh,
Jay,
you'd be a good one for that one.
Jay being a DX Racer owner, how does the GT Omega Racer you're sitting in compare? Okay, I would like to point something out. Yes, I have lost weight since I did the GT Omega chair.
He's lost actually a lot of weight.
This chair I'm sitting in was actually the chair they developed, which I think is funny that they sent it to you first, considering it was built with my suggestions.
Yes.
Because I complained about the size.
Yep.
So goes to show GT Omega was about sub count first. Anyway, Liam is just giving me a hard time. All right, so
GT Omega does move pretty fast though. I've noticed. Like you're like, hey, I don't like this. They're like, oh, well, we made a change.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen a company make changes so fast.
So I had the GT Omega racing chair, the Evo chair, which was one of their XL chairs designed for like 330 pounds or more or something. and I felt super squished in it. I've been sitting in this since I've been here.
Yep.
Look at me, legs crossed. I'm comfortable in this chair. I could totally rock this chair. So compared to the DX Racer is a little wider and a little longer, a little softer, but really, for a big guy, this chair is perfectly comfortable. I still prefer my DX Racer. Sorry, GT Omega, but personally,
no. Seriously though, you've made some really good points.
The King Series chair, is everything I wanted the GT Omega Racer chair to be.
Like you noticed one thing I like. You said the GT because I honestly haven't tested the DX Racer yet.
Yeah.
Like so, my experience is based on GT Omega. But you said that the DX Racer has you said it was softer foam in it too, right?
Softer.
A lot softer foam. So that's another thing to consider.
It broke in because it was as stiff as this one was.
Yep.
But it broke in over a matter of days, and it doesn't squish to the point where you feel like you're sitting on the frame. It remains its elasticity and cushion to it. The material feels softer overall.
Yep.
But still has a good warranty on it.
I am gonna test a DX Racer chair though.
Good.
Because a lot of people really like the chair reviews that I did, so I will at some point test a DX Racer chair.
Really?
I'm not just gonna test GT Omega chairs. And also got contacted by another company, AK Racing.
I don't know. There's so many of them now.
Yeah, so AK Racing also makes a chair that's similar. I really like car chairs. That's why I really love these things at the end of the day. Is it's like sitting in a car seat.
But you'll notice Jerry is still sitting in his older one and up a newer one because this chair does seem to sit up higher than that one even.
It does.
And the DX Racer chair is lower than both of these.
Yep, but you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take the back off that chair because I really like the side bolsters.
Put it on that one?
And stick it on this one because they're all compatible.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna build a Franken chair from these two chairs.
The DX Racer chair on the back though, honestly, is also wider. So I feel like it cups around my back fat a little better.
Yeah, and I've seen there are a lot of subtle differences. Like I've seen some of the DX Racer chairs that look like they do some fabric. Mm-hmm. Like so they might breathe better for some people because some people don't like the leatherette material. They just don't. I personally like it because I like being warm when I'm sitting in my chair. But there are a lot of different options. So guys, I am gonna check out a DX Racer, especially after you said that the material gets softer. Because I will say that these chairs, they are a firm chair. So
they're very firm.
I want to try them both out.
The padding is very, very firm.
Let's see what else we got over here. Wow, guys, we have 2,900 people in here on this live stream right now. That is crazy. We had a couple people say I'm talking too much though, so we might need you to talk a little bit more.
I don't mind because I actually feel like my voice is getting a little scratchy, and I know yours is, but I'd rather you lose your voice than me.
Yeah, I already started losing my voice today after the fan meetup. So let's see here. What do we got over here? See, have you been using Inbox by Google and do you like it? Yes, I did use Inbox by Google, and I'll be honest, I don't like it.
What is Inbox by Google?
So Inbox is basically like a smart mailbox that
obviously I don't use it.
It like as you're using it, it kind of learns your trends and learns like what mail is important. It allows you to put certain mails, make them more important than others. And after a period of time, it basically is like an assistant that sorts your inbox and gets most of the spam away and gets you what you want to look at. But the problem is my diversity changes so much on what I like and dislike and what I need to move away and what I want to throw away and what I need to get back. I actually found it to be kind of a hindrance, and it confused the hell out of me. Hey, I know a lot of people that love it.
Hey guys, real quick. Everyone's like, Jay, your form's being DDoSed. I just got text message by my dev. He's working on the forum. He's literally working on it. It's not being DDoSed. He's working on it. Which I am interested as to what he's doing. But okay. Whatever. Yeah, I do actually have a forum developer. Isn't that weird?
You do, dude.
Well, that's the nice thing about open source forums like PHPBBs. You can write PHP to do whatever you want in there. So.
So Kevin Olderman asks, and this is from the chat, guys. All you guys say we're not paying attention to the chat. A lot of this is coming from the chat. If you take a look. But how did Jay respond to the dust in your PC, Jerry?
I didn't look in it.
He didn't look. He literally said he's just gonna forget the picture that he saw. It was like it was painful to him. It was literally painful. Let's see here. Here's another fan question. It says, you guys are talking about the Noctua fans. What about the Yate Loons? I haven't even heard of those. Are you familiar with that fan?
Oh yeah, Yate Loon has the best performance to price ratio. Period.
Really?
You can get a 1200. You can get any RPM, but you can get 1200 RPM, which is like the go-to 12-volt fans that they have.
Okay.
For $4.
Oh wow.
The thing is, they're not sleeved. They're not great. They're not the prettiest fans in the world. They're just solid black. They look very unassuming. But
so it's all about business.
But in terms of static pressure and then noise performance, I got mine when I first started water cooling. And this is not a Performance PCs plug, guys. I have used them as a customer for a long time. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6 of them at $4 a pop, and then I paid an extra $2 to have them sleeve it. So
that's still just a killer deal.
Oh yeah, what do fans cost now? Like $17,
Yeah,
$20.
yeah, depending. Yeah, for
or
the
like
good ones, for
Noctua's
the
like
really good
$25.
ones. Yep.
Expensive.
What's the? Do you know what the warranties are on them?
The Yate Loons?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've never
had one go bad on me though.
Well, honestly, how many of them would have to go bad before a Noctua? Like, I mean, if a Noctua is $25, you'd have to burn up quite a few of those before you were into Noctua money.
Yeah.
So let's see here. I'm gonna search Ask Tech Talk again. Here, let me check the chat over here really quick. Let's see. Wow, it's really good. See, that's the thing, is like really hard to slow the chat down.
Yeah.
And look at it. So we're gonna look through chat here a little bit. Somebody's like $4. Holy balls!
I'm serious. I mean, okay, now that was a couple years ago, but I don't see them getting any more expensive. Check them out. Check it out though. I mean, last time I looked, they were like $4.
Tom G asked a question. Hey, quick question. My other chat name was banned. Will it be unbanned when the next Tech Talk happens? Yes. These bans are only for this show.
It also doesn't tell us what his other name was.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm gonna be nice. I mean, hey, he called it out. He was honest. So I'm not gonna ban Tom G. So, but don't worry, guys. If you got banned, you'll be good to go for next show to be banned again. So don't worry. Let's see. Ask Tech Talk. Whoa, hold on. What is the best mic for under $100 for voiceovers? That's kind of a hard one.
I wish I knew what the model was that I Am Apropos was using for that USB mic that he had.
Oh yeah.
It was an Audio Technica, but I don't remember the model.
How much is
it was like $40.
What about the mono price, Mike? How much was that?
That was $79, but it's not USB. I think the USB one's different.
Because XLR, you need an amp and stuff. So yeah,
right.
you're not going to get an amp.
But they
for
do
$20.
have a USB version of it. I just don't know how much it is.
You might want to check that. Check the mono. What was it? The mono price? Do you remember what it was called? The model?
It's just called large diaphragm condenser mic.
That sounds like mono price. Just like large 4K monitor.
It's an OEM, ODM, like manufacturer of some other brand. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah, go check that out, because I like the way Jay sounds on that. And if they have a USB version and the DAC in it, it's actually decent. Like, it's probably a good mic. Let's see. Whoa. Bye-bye. It's kind of empowering to ban some of these really, really annoying people.
Yeah.
It's like, it makes me feel all super and awesome. Okay, here. We got 6 new results in Ask Tech Talk. Jerry, how's your new color laser printer doing? Oh, my brother laser printer. I love it. Absolutely love it. I don't know.
Like, you have a brother? Oh, I get it now.
I don't know why I waited so long to get a color laser printer. I'm still a little put off by the price of the toner.
I don't even own a printer. Why do you have a printer?
I print stuff all the time.
What
I
do you
print like little certificates to send people, fill out paperwork, all my stuff that I do here that I want to fill out before I take somewhere.
Really? I don't remember the last time I printed something.
Or like sometimes if I need to physically sign with ink a document that I can't just like digitally ink, I'll print it out, sign it, and then put it through the scanner. Mm. So I mean, I don't use it a ton. My wife uses it more than I do for printing out like coupons and stuff like that to take to the store. But yeah, I personally like it. I think it's awesome. And every time it prints, it makes the lights dim, so you know that sucker is pulling a little power.
Jeez.
Was it? Oh, prank call Logan? No. Let's see here. What does Xander think of Jay? He thinks Jay's awesome. Took to him like a duck to water.
He did. He was all shy at first.
He was a little bit. Like, I've never seen Xander really get shy, but Jay's a really tall guy. So Xander kind of put his hands behind his back, was holding his hands behind his back, kind of looking around, like, "Oh, hi," you know. But no, now they're good. And Jay even took over Xander's room. Xander actually got pushed out to the couch.
I kicked him out. No,
we kicked him out of the couch. Actually, Xander loves sleeping on the couch. He's absolutely.
I was more than willing to sleep on your couch.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So Xander's happy. You're happy. But it was pretty cool. And Xander came in this morning too, and he didn't bug you in his room. He came into our room. He's like, "Can I wake up now?" Let's see. I saw somebody asked up there, am I getting 4K monitors? Yes, I am just waiting for some good 60 hertz, 40+ inch DisplayPort enabled screens.
Yeah.
Once those come out, I'm on it, guys. I'm on it.
Well, we're looking at maybe later this year for that.
Yeah. No, and they're close. I mean, I think Philips already has one option, but unfortunately they're always sold out, and for some reason they're only advertised on European tech sites. I can't find any in the United States. Let's see what we got here. Questions about Linus's room cooling. Wouldn't using medium aluminum carburetor have been a better option?
No, aluminum is a terrible metal to use in the loop for water cooling compared with, or mixed with brass, copper, and other metals. Aluminum is always the one that causes corrosion. So, corrosion. I don't know. I don't think it matters considering they're moving in a couple of months and they're ripping it all out anyway.
Yeah, another thing is, aren't car radiators more designed to dissipate very, very large amounts of heat quickly, not low amounts of heat?
Right, and the rows in them are much, much larger.
Yeah. So a car radiator is designed to basically keep the engine at a pretty high operating temperature. It's not designed to get down to the lowest possible temperature you can.
What I'm interested to know is just how much resistance is in that water cooling loop for the room, because he's got all those radiators outside. He's got a radiator in each system.
Well, I know he fired it up a couple times. I mean, there was some apparent leaks in places. I almost wonder if that's like pressure that was causing the soldering to fail.
I don't think so. I think that was just where the flux didn't seal properly.
How many pumps does he have in that system? Do you know?
Each system has its own D5 pump.
Yep.
And then he's got like 2 large, like swimming pool type pumps, large industrial pumps in the bathtub.
Oh man, he should have put a pressure gauge on that loop. I would love to see how many bars of pressure he has.
But here's the thing: when he has
there.
the whole room water cooling loop going,
yep,
they turn off each pump at each system, I believe. And the thing was, when he showed like how much flow they had coming out of the return line, it was just like looked like an old man's pissing. I'm telling you right now, it was like trickling out of the other end. So I was surprised that even with those 2 pumps, it was not like just shooting.
So you
like a
really
water hose.
need all those pumps.
Oh yeah,
working to push through that system. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Let's see what else we got here. Oh wow, 17 new came in. Jeez, you guys are just lambasting us with questions. Let's see. Ask Tech Talk. What do you guys think about Kyle and Paul having their own show? I think it's awesome.
They've had their own show way before they left Newegg. I don't know why people think that's new.
Yeah, well, they probably just discovered them recently. But no, I absolutely, I love it. Those guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. How tall are you two? Maybe stand up and show the height difference. Well, with this camera, it's a little hard, and we got the vaulted ceiling ahead of us. But there is a big height difference. I'm about 5'9", 5'10" on a frisky day. You're about what?
6'3", barefoot, 6'4" with shoes.
6'4" with shoes. Yeah, there's a little bit of a difference there. But I'll tell you what, Graham, and you guys have seen Graham in the drone video. I got so many comments asking, "Wow, Jerry is really short." No, Graham is huge. Graham is like 6'8". He is up there.
Fractal Josh.
Yeah, Graham is a massive, massive boy.
Call Linus. I don't have his home number.
Yeah, no, everybody's like, we don't have all of our personal information. I mean,
I could call you right now.
Yeah, I mean, I could call you too. So, let's see, what do we got here? What do you think of the upcoming water-cooled R9 300 series from AMD?
If you're Bradley Clapp says, Jerry, if your fans could be any other color, what color would you like them? Guys, we are all about affirmative action here.
I prefer the purple ones.
I was going with a joke.
I know.
But it didn't work too well. I was trying to be snarky, sir.
Water-cooled R9 300. We all know AMD is for poor people. What do you think about it?
Water-cooled R9 300 series from AMD? What about it?
He just wants to say, what do you think about it?
I never talk about things before I've personally...
Jay's not a speculator. He really isn't.
Well, not with hardware. I was speculating up the ass about what happened with Frozen CPU.
That's true.
When it comes to graphics cards and stuff, I mean, until I get my hands on it and can only talk about what my experiences are, I don't form opinions on things before I have them. That's also why if someone asks me, like, through Twitter or email, like, hey, what do you think about this? Sometimes the response is, I don't know, I haven't used it.
I'm largely the same way. And just so you guys know, the AMD's for poor people thing is a running joke. AMDs are actually a great process. Matter of fact, when I was at Puget Systems, they had a system there. They were messing with me. Like, I thought my build was probably like one of their more powerful builds that they've done for an independent customer. Mm-hmm. And like literally sitting right next to my computer when I show up is a quad AMD CPU system that had
4 CPUs.
Yes, and it had 128 gigs of RAM in it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, maybe AMD isn't so much for poor people. I mean, it was a beastly system, but it was some system built for a scientific venture to be able to crunch numbers. I mean, it was basically a rig designed just for crunching numbers. Use. But still, I thought that was pretty impressive. I looked in there and I was like, holy crap, that entire board is covered in RAM.
Well, here's the thing. Personally, I'm really against people who will give other people advice on things they've never personally used or done, but just regurgitate things they've heard people say on forums.
I'm the same way with 3D printers.
I'm hugely against that. And so for me to form or give any sort of opinion on a product I have not used firsthand is nothing more than hearsay about a product, and I don't do that. So that's why I don't answer those questions.
So let's see. Zyme says, I have a very narrow desk and cannot fit my dual monitors, Blue Yeti mic, and Logitech G105 monitors. Wait, the monitors. Okay, and it's too cramped.
I want to answer that one.
Yeah. Oh, from
After you do that.
Okay, so actually, this is a pretty easy one to solve. What you need to do is get yourself I think Monoprice actually has them pretty cheap too. The brackets. Get yourself a monitor bracket so you can mount the monitors on the wall behind the desk or coming up from the back of the desk so they're free floating. Yeah. That way you free up all the space underneath them.
You can get an articulating arm mount for a single monitor.
They're cheap.
For like $29.
They're super cheap, guys. And then the other thing is, as far as your Blue Yeti mic, mount it on an articulating arm and put it on the wall or the ceiling, and that way you can push it out of the way too. Once you do that, you can get ones
like Jerry has there for very cheap on eBay.
Yeah. So yeah, they basically look like lamp stands.
Or Amazon. Amazon's got a lot of those too.
Yeah, they're like 30, 40 bucks for a good one, 20 bucks for a cheap one. But yeah, no, that will help you free up massive amounts of space. Okay.
All right. So Coconut Monkey, hey, Nick, he says, Barnacules, did JayzTwoCents take you on a bike ride yet? I have not, but I did find the bike store 5 minutes driving through Seattle, as we were leaving the airport.
5 minutes driving in the dead of night on some back streets on the way back to my house. Jay spotted the closed bike store. It was like in an alley of like hundreds of other little shops and stores. Jay's like, oh, bike store. Didn't say anything about anything else.
So here's why I wanted to bring that up, though, is no, Nick, but Jerry did take me for a ride in his Stage 3 Subaru all-wheel drive.
That's only Stage 2. I wish it was Stage 3.
Stage 2 Subaru in the rain. His car, Nick, gets up and goes.
Yeah,
and let me say, it had me thinking, I might want to buy one.
Yeah, we got to step out pretty good sliding around that corner on the freeway.
We were coming around the corner and you were feathering the throttle to keep it.
Yeah, I was showing him how to do liftoff oversteer my car in the rain going around a very, very sharp corner merging onto the freeway. And the cool thing about the STI is if you just the cars are notorious for understeer. Mm-hmm. So in the STI, the way you combat
under non-accelerating conditions.
Yes. So the way that you steer that car is literally with the gas and the brake. So you get the wheel turned at a fixed radius, and you basically feather the throttle, get off the throttle just a little. You don't want to take off too much, and the back end of the car will start to slide out, and you can literally hold that slide just by feathering the throttle. And that's how you steer that damn car.
But what sucks about that, though, specifically in your car, though, is the second you get off that gas, you lose the boost. So you're constantly in and out of boost. So it's like giving you whiplash.
Yes, and that's the thing is you have to really keep that car wrapped out to drive it. Like on a track, I wouldn't have done that.
Now, the reason why I bring this up is he is a huge Subaru WRX STI fan. He loves Subis, right?
Yes.
Even though he's a Volkswagen guy, he loves Subis. His Subaru has so much, and you didn't launch it at all today. He just like would get on it from a rolling start.
Yep.
He tells me later today, he's like, I think one of those launches tweaked my neck because he was like, "Oh,
yeah, actually, my neck feels like I pulled a little muscle in the back of it because I was getting a little too overzealous."
Yeah, so I just bring that up to make him as jelly as possible.
Yeah, but the truth is,
he's not jealous of the mold growing out of you.
No, dude, you keep such a clean car. I'm so embarrassed in my car right now, dude. I seriously want to just wash it before we go to Portland tomorrow, but we're not.
I'm embarrassed for your car. I will help you wash it. I don't want to be in the car.
Oh, somebody in chat said that's a fake. Is there a fake Barnacules in here?
Right here.
Where? Oh, is that? Hey, you guys, we found the fake Barnacules guy.
Why are his feet so big? What are you compensating for, sir?
Hey, I'm not compensating for nothing, buddy.
Look how big his feet are.
That's big old feet on that guy.
Yeah. This is payback now. I just start doing a little Street. Wait, hold on. Wait.
Oh, I got him, guys. I found the fake Barnacules Nerdgasm.
There we are.
All right, the fake Barnacules Nerdgasm has been banned. Actually, that fake Barnacules, he's done this a couple times, so I'm going to go ahead and report him to YouTube.
Hold on, I got it.
All right, you do that here. I'm gonna.
There.
I'm gonna
Who
just
needs
copy.
you? There.
All right.
Fix that.
All right, guys, I got him.
Fake Barnacules.
He'll be gone.
All right, see? I have a new co-host. I don't need you anymore.
I know you don't, do you? I'll just let you take him home with you, huh? You can take him on the plane and explain him to TSA when they pull him out of your luggage.
I wake up, he's like standing on my chest looking at me.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
One thing I really like about YouTube and like the full screen network is they're actually really good at dealing with troublemakers. Like impersonators and people that cause problems. They're actually really
good. He deserves
a
ban just for what he said about Subarus.
Oh, wait, what? Where? Fucking Subaru nerds? I'm not going to ban him for that because I am a Subaru nerd.
He's fake.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. He's banned. He's gone.
Jay, you should sell all of your last generation GPUs. Why? When they're last generation, I'll probably just end up giving them to friends.
What are you kidding? They'll go in your daughter's machine. They'll still be more powerful than most of the stuff
I think I'm going to put the 260X in her machine.
You should. Let's see here. Chrissy asks, what microphone are you using right now? We're actually using a Rode shotgun microphone.
NTG2 or NTG3?
That's a 2.
Okay.
That's not the 3, and it's connected to an ART 2-amp MP. So that's what we're using right now. We're literally just sitting in front of a shotgun mic. Let's see what we got here. What monitor configuration would you suggest from a productivity standpoint, says RJ Hoffman. These are really hard questions to answer because they come down to personal preference. But like as a software developer, I prefer having at least one screen in landscape and one screen in portrait. And that way you can always have documentation up.
Yeah.
You doing all right there, big guy?
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Okay. I just like lean with it, rock with it, lean with it, rock with it.
My back's a little tight, but that's all. Personally, when it comes to, say, like a content creation standpoint or live streaming, you can't beat the 3+1. When it comes to that.
That's true. Let's see what we got here. See, my monitors don't have VESA mounts. How can I mount them? Hot glue.
You can't.
Lots of hot glue and duct tape.
You can't. You wall mount the shelf and stick it on the shelf.
The truth is, okay, it depends. If you don't mind, if they're old monitors and you don't mind voiding the warranty, I actually know 2 friends that went and got epoxy. It's 2-part epoxy. You basically can buy it at any automotive store, and you mix the 2 parts together. And when it dries, I mean, it's hard. It's heat resistant to like 1500 degrees, and you can literally line a VESA, put the bolts on the VESA mount.
I still don't know if I trust it.
And it's pretty scary. That stuff actually is pretty crazy strong. But I'm just saying, you wouldn't want to do it on anything new, and you will void the warranty. But you can literally put the bolts on the VESA mount and then epoxy them to the screen so that they're in the right position. And then you can put the backs on the bolts to tie them to the arm. And it can work. But again, it's at your own risk.
What is your view record on Tech Talk? Well, technically, right now, but we're on his channel, which has 120K more subs, so I would expect it.
Yeah, we have I have a lot more subs, and I usually don't advertise that we're doing a stream, so this is all new to a lot of these guys.
Well, and then I advertise it on my channel to bring people here.
That's true. So this is probably the highest viewership we've had, but it's because this has also been
imagine if Jerry were willing to do a little buffer video like I did to bring people here every week.
We would have probably cleared like 3,500 or so. We'll try it next week.
That'd be nice if you did that. That'd be awesome.
I will. I've done it before.
Once?
I've done it before. No, twice.
Okay, twice. But how many episodes have you been on?
I don't know.
Like
all of them?
35 episodes. Not all of them. We're up to 67. You've been on like half of them.
I know. Hey, you just calm your tits there, big guy. You just calm them.
What is my opinions on Paul's new water-cooled system?
Yeah, what are your opinions?
Watch my opinions on his channel. I did videos with him. You're going to see more videos with me doing water cooling stuff with him.
Let's see. Wow, a lot of people talking about monitor stands. What do you guys think of Windows 10? I try not to. Okay, next question. What about you, Jay? You got any opinions on Windows 10?
I mourn for 9.
You mourn for 9. I know. I guess that's a good one. I'm hashtag mourn for Windows 9. Let's see here. How about using fan filters on air-cooled rigs? That is a very, very good idea. Only if you clean the damn filters, though.
It's good on water-cooled systems, too. The only reason I don't have filters on Skunkworks is because if you saw how the front fans mount in a fan cage and then have a grill on either side of it, I can't get the filter in and out for cleaning very easily.
Yeah, one of the things I like about that, was it the Fractal Design R2XL, is all the filters are really, really easy to access. Yep. So that part I really like.
Case Labs doesn't really have the fan filter access, very easily to... See, here's the thing, though. For the filters to be truly effective, they have to be between the atmosphere and the case, or in the fan, not on the back side of the fan.
Right.
So they need to be on the front so that the dust gets trapped before it enters the fan. So, like I said, with the Case Labs case, the whole front comes out. It's a cage that splits open like a clamshell. You put the 3 fans in, then you clamshell it, and then mount it to the front. So the only way I could clean those filters, which in my area would have to be done all the time, would be to constantly undo like 9 screws, take it out, undo 4 more screws, take it out, take the filter. It's just so much work, even I wouldn't do it. Yeah.
And the thing is, though, Case Labs are beautiful cases, though. They are absolutely beautiful cases.
As much as I love Case Labs cases, they have absolutely zero thought put into dust filtration.
No. And they're a very industrial design. That's the thing, too, is Case Lab cases, are designed like a brick shit house. My language, but it's true. They are built, and they have some cool features. Like I like the doors snapshot. I like the snapshot opening doors. It has a lot of stuff, but there are a lot of screws and a lot of little turnies and a lot of things in those cases. Because they made it as modular as they possibly could.
And you notice how almost all the panel screws are a thumb screw?
Yes. Yeah. That part I really, really dig. Yeah. I've actually thought about doing that with some other cases, just pulling out every screw and putting a thumb screw kit on it. Let's see. What is the latest NSA breach of mobile SIM cards? I haven't heard anything on that. So
Everything's breached these days.
yeah, that's true. I mean, anything that comes out and says you can't hack me.
Scroll up a little bit.
What do you got?
Right step. I wonder how we came up with that number.
If you say my name correctly, you get $300.
300 deer are going to appear in this room. So
Yeah, I don't want $300, guys. I don't. I was gonna try too, but $300 is just not my number. Like $250, I would have totally done it.
I don't like how he didn't capitalize the first letter of his last name.
Yeah, what's up with that? Is that your real last name? Let's see. What is the best IPS 1080p monitor for gaming with thin bezels?
That's a trick question. The reason why I say that is there are very few high refresh rate, low millisecond response time, 1440p gaming monitors. Did it say IPS?
Yeah, he said IPS.
Don't exist. Acer's got one coming out right now.
Yeah.
It's a 27-inch IPS 1440p 144 hertz 1 millisecond monitor. It's Acer's coming out with it.
A 1 millisecond?
It's a 1 millisecond.
Wow.
Just like the Swift. It's the Swift, but with IPS. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the price is on it yet. I don't know if it's been leaked. I got to see it in person over at the NVIDIA 960 meeting I had with them. My God, do I want that monitor. Acer, if you're listening, Swift would get the Swift kick out of my office for that monitor in a heartbeat. But I'm guessing it's going to be north of $1,000. But it's the only one on the planet right now.
That's why it's north of $1,000.
Now, those Korean brands that have a lot of, like, you know, you can overclock the IPS panel and get like 90 hertz sort of thing, but no. 144 hertz, 1440p IPS, 1 millisecond from Acer. And it is so nice.
If only they made it in 40 plus inches. I needs them big screens. I'm addicted. Yeah. I'm addicted. Let's see here. Hey, Jerry, what is your preferred IDE? Basically your development environment software. Visual Studio. I really like Visual Studio. It does have some quirks and some instability, but realize I was like bottle fed Visual Studio for 20 years. I mean, it's my preferred IDE.
Oh, wait, I take that back.
What?
Okay, Max was asking about 1080p. Best IPS 1080p.
Oh, 1080p panel.
The problem with IPS panels, though, is they're still only 60 hertz. So if you're okay with 60 hertz, see, to me, a gaming panel means high refresh rate, 120 hertz.
And truthfully speaking, more frames per second is going to give you more accuracy and faster response.
Right, and if it's a single input monitor, then it's also going to have lower input lag. You're going to have very fast response, or high refresh rate, low response time. IPS 1080p. I don't know. I mean, most IPS panels are not considered gaming panels, so you're going to have higher refresh time, or you have higher refresh rates of like 60 hertz, which to me is considered high because the higher the number is low refresh rate in my opinion. I know I look at it backwards. But then the response time is always higher, like 5 milliseconds, 10 milliseconds, which most gamers would consider way too high.
Yeah.
Which is funny too. You think about how many that's 5,000ths of a second. But believe it or not, it does matter to some people.
What do we got there? Line Ginger says, "You're a developer?" ? Yes, I was a developer at Microsoft for 15 years.
OCN Blue Devil says Jay is now a panel snob. It's unfortunately true because I dabbled in low-end panels for so long I didn't give a shit until I started playing with high-end panels, and then I cannot go back. Life would be so much simpler right now, quite honestly, if I could simply do 60 hertz panels and be happy now, but I can't.
That's the blissful ignorance, man. You should have just stayed with 60 hertz because now you see that 144 and 240. You're like, oh my God, I gotta have it.
And you can't go back because now your options are so limited.
No, I definitely know that. Hey, I'm dealing with a similar problem on a different level. Once you have giant screens in front of you, it's really hard to go down to like people are like, wow, a 27-inch screen's big. I'm gonna be using a 27-inch screen tomorrow, and it's gonna take me a while to get used to it because I'm gonna be like.
That's gonna be me. We got 10 more minutes in this thing today because we've got work to do tonight.
We do. We got a lot of stuff to do. We're actually doing our Ask. Right. If you guys didn't see those hashtags, what was your hashtag?
So Jerry and I are both doing an Ask Us video, but we're doing one for me on my channel, one for him on his channel, and there's 2 different hashtags you can use on Twitter. Hopefully you guys follow on Twitter. If you don't, sorry, that's where we do it. So hashtag Ask JayzTwoCents.
Yep.
Silly questions, not like, hey Jay, how many lanes would I use if I had such and such? Okay, no. Those aren't fun. Those are boring. Ask us just like
fun questions,
fun vlog type questions that we can have fun with. So Ask JayzTwoCents will be on my channel.
Yep.
And Ask Barnacules is going to be questions for his channel. We're going to do 2 separate videos, and if you ask the same question on both, it won't make it on both.
Yep.
So, fun questions, things that we can have some fun with, not tech stuff. Every now and then, believe it or not, we like to have some fun outside of tech.
Exactly. So if you guys want to be on the episode that's going to be on my channel, both episodes will have both of us in it.
Right.
But if you want to be...
We might switch sides.
Yeah, we might even like
might shake it up
switch. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So if you want to ask me, it's hashtag Ask Barnacules. And for Jay, it's hashtag Ask JayzTwoCents.
With a Z.
With a Z. Don't forget the Z. And we search those hashtags, and we'll go through the questions and pick the ones that we like the best, and then we'll answer them in tonight's episode.
$12.99 is the leap price for the Acer monitor. I hope that's not right, because
Spendy.
I said north of 1,000, but when I asked NVIDIA how much it was, they didn't know. I told them flat out. I said, I was talking to BDR over there in NVIDIA. I said, I think my guess is $1,200, but if it's $12.99, that even beats my high guess.
Sorry.
I'm
doing my moderating thing here.
I need to get a contact for Acer.
I know, right? Yeah, we're gonna need those to be sponsored.
What's funny though is I bet you most of the units that come to the U.S. ship first are gonna go to reviewers. They won't even be available retail yet.
Oh, I'm sure it'll take a while, especially with specs like that. Oh my god.
Yep.
Let's see what we got here. Kevin Hansen says, "What games will you be playing at PDX Land?"
I don't know.
I honestly don't know. I installed a ton of them, but I'm hoping to play like if I had my choice of like games to join, I really want to play some Battlefield 4. I haven't been playing Battlefield 4 for a long time, and I want to get back into it.
Someone up there says, "Are you just copying awesome hardware or what?" Because Kyle and Paul do their stream. What part of episode 67 did you miss, sir?
Yeah,
That's 67 weeks.
Yep.
Actually, it's been longer than that because I took about a 6-month hiatus because I used to do the show by
I think it's funny how people like accuse other people of copying each other when the person they're accusing has actually been around longer and have done more things.
Right.
Okay.
More
All right.
subs,
So
blah,
do
blah,
your
blah.
research. Do your research, guys. I know that on the internet you really don't have to do your research because it's easy to just type things in and hit enter. But I'm just saying, hey, if you're curious, do your research.
Yeah.
Let's see. Are you ever gonna?
If it said episode 2, I'd get it.
Yeah. So ask that. Am I ever gonna do reviews of portable amplifiers? Yeah, actually. I'm actually surprised I haven't done
For, like,
one
headphones?
yet. Yeah, like portable. I actually do have a portable headphone
That connects to
amplifier.
like your cell phone.
Yeah, I actually have one that I am going to be reviewing here pretty soon. It's actually one by Mayflower Electronics, so I'm actually kind of excited about that one. But the thing is, for me to review something like that, I want to go on a trip where I'm using the mobile amplifier, and this might actually I might take it to PDX Land because I've got some of my high-powered headphones that won't be driven by the DAC and that thing.
And I left mine at home because I don't have one of those.
Oh, maybe I can find you one too. I think I have 2 headphone amplifiers here. Very cool.
You're gonna piss people off with that.
I probably am. What? Doing this?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put them away.
So thoughts for Battlefield Hardline. I didn't play the beta. I didn't get into it. Jay, what are your PC specs? Go to my channel and look up Skunkworks.
Skunkworks. Let's see what we got here.
Yeah, it says a monoprice one right there.
Oh yeah, somebody already found the
It's
monoprice.
not monoprice. It's Amazon, but still, it's not expensive.
Yeah, that's the one. Let's see. What are the best CPUs in your opinion? Anyone that says Intel on the front of it.
As long as it doesn't start with an A.
Yeah. Let's see here. Ask Jay, what kind of cycling do you do? Mountain bike or road?
It's road because it's for fitness. So it is my bike is a Cannondale Quick 5 with a RX seat, and it's got some better pedals on there.
Yep.
Let's see, Shimano shifters and gears. It's a good bike. I mean, all in all, after the upgrades and stuff, after tax, the bike itself was probably around $750 to $800. All the other stuff I bought to go along with the cycling brought it to about $1,000. But best $1,000 I've ever spent because I have been like
You've been hitting that thing hard.
I've been like a fat Lance Armstrong in my city. I'm telling you right now. The neighbor even commented the other day. He's like, I ride past his house, and he's one of those old guys that's retired. And he just sits in his front porch at the same time every day, smoking the same cigarette. Right? It's one of those guys. And finally, I go past his house quite a few times, and I was coming back home, and he's all, "Hey, how often do you ride?" And I was like, "As often as I can get." So I'm going by. No, cycling's been amazing. I love cycling. I just like being out. I just don't like some of the drivers I have to cycle with, though.
The most common question I've got over the last 2 months has been, when are you doing more of your Codegasm series? Mm-hmm. Guys, the goal is for me to shoot the next Codegasm this Monday. Yeah, a lot of you guys have been waiting a long time for it. I just recently got my dev environment all set up on the new machine under my VM. I am good to go. So it's just a matter of me being able to sit down and shoot it.
How do you make that big-ass font?
Yeah, somebody figured out how to make a big font over
Please fight. They want me to fight you.
They want you to fight?
I want me to fight. I don't know. Jerry only fights girls.
That's true. If you guys haven't seen that.
How do you use a 3D printer?
How to use a 3D printer? You turn it on and you push the button. Yeah. Let's see. What do we got over here? What are we doing on time? We got 5 more minutes?
5 minutes.
All right, see what we have. I'm not going to... screw it. I'm going to answer it. What have I done to the STI? I know a lot of you guys, oh my God, I hate Subaru. But no, the guys that love Subaru, you're my buddies. But no, my car has probably too much to be listed. But the major mods on it are it has a racing header on it, unequal length to keep that grumbly noise. It's got an NVIDIA V3 divorced wastegate downpipe, custom 3-inch up pipe, Blitz Nurspec R, full catback exhaust.
It's so loud.
I know it's
stupidly
loud. We're gonna
loud.
be deaf by the time we get to Portland.
Here's the thing:
tomorrow.
in my area, there's like WRXs, STIs everywhere.
Yeah.
I've never heard one that's as loud as yours.
That thing, well, we don't have the same emissions law as you do in California,
That's
so
true.
we can have really loud exhausts
It
up
is
here.
crazy loud. You warned me, like, I'm going to bring the Volt when I pick you up from the airport. That way we can vlog and not just hear the engine. I was like, dude, Subarus aren't that loud. Oh my God, when you fired up your car this morning, it was like a dinosaur just kind of came alive and started roaring. It was
It's
insane.
very loud and it's a little bit of a harsh ride. The suspension in it isn't that forgiving, but it's not as bad as you'd think. I'm sure you've been in track cars that are more hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Wow, everything. Oh man, there's all the Subaru. Subaru's the best. Yeah.
But car guys are just like anything else. You have your fanboys, and if you like something else, everything other than what you like is shit.
That's true.
And that's sad that people think that way. Poor pathetic fools.
Let's see.
When's the
here.
next talk with Boogie 29888? 2988888. I'm a friend with Boogie, but he's been kind of distant. I've asked him to come on many, many times. That's gone unanswered. So
Yeah, I talked to him a couple of times on Twitter, and he said he wanted to do some collaborations, but I haven't heard back from him. I think he's moving, and he just bought a house or something, and he's super, super busy. What is the fastest in mile per hour that you've driven your car, and where at?
You're gonna incriminate yourself.
Well, no, this is actually legal.
Oh, dirt
No,
fish?
I was actually not a dirt fish. It was top speed I've ever had in my car was the Ridge Motorsports Park in Shelton, Washington, and I hit just over 150 mile an hour in the straight
Yeah.
at the bottom. That was my absolute top speed I've ever had the car at.
I wonder how fast it would go with unlimited straight.
If you had unlimited straight, it'd probably top out probably around 160-ish.
You think so? Gearing, huh?
Yeah, the gearing would get you, and plus, I mean, it is only 350 horsepower, 380 torque, and it is a fairly heavy car. I mean, 3,600 pounds. But put it this way, I was out there racing with the Nissan, the GTR, and the GTRs were
like you were
just
sitting still.
spanking me. Like, they were hitting like 165, 170 in the 3/4 mile straight. I was blown away. I'd really love to have one, but unfortunately the YouTube bunnies will not allow me to have a GTR yet.
Next year.
Next year. And then the year after that, I'll get the Lamborghini Aventador. I'll get a used one, though. I don't want to be too extravagant.
Remember I showed you that the Aventador was over 4,000 pounds? Or it was just about 4,000 pounds?
What's that? The Aventador?
When we were looking up weight.
Yeah. Couldn't believe that Lamborghini was over 4. I always thought that they were super lightweight.
Yeah, no, 4 grand.
But I guess when you have a billion horsepower, you don't need it.
Good for you keeping it legal. Yep,
Wow,
I'm the same.
We got some interesting people.
I'm the
over
same way too. I always raced at Willow Springs, because Willow Springs is about an hour from my house. You saw it when you flew in.
Yep.
That track. It's got a drift track there, and it's got a drag strip, a small go-kart track, full-size track. It's fun. It's a racing in the desert, so it's dirty. Track gets dusted, blown all over it. Corners are a little.
It was
squirrely.
weird too, because when I was flying over and looked at it, it was deserted. Like nobody was doing anything there. And I was like, wow, that's a really nice track to
That's
not
because
be
you
in
came in
use.
the summer. Most of the time, they don't race in the summer. It's
Just
hot.
too damn hot. Just melt the
Yeah.
tires on the cars.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What are we at? 7:28. Okay, so we'll take what 2 more questions and
Sure.
wrap it up.
Yep.
Everybody's talking about GTRs.
The
being
2016 Acura NSX looks so hot. Have you seen it?
common. Yeah, it looks like. Is that what they're actually shipping? Like, because it looks like
looks
a
like an
prototype.
Audi.
It looks like an actual
Audi, too.
prototype. Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of the R8.
Let's see. We got.
It's going so fast.
Or the NSX. Have you seen the Acura NSX?
That's what I just said. The Acura NSX.
Oh, is the NX what
The
you were talking about?
2016,
Oh,
yeah.
the NSX. Yeah, that thing
It's-
looks like. What are they gonna? I wonder what the price is gonna be on it.
I'm
though.
scared.
The price is going to be stupid on it. I mean, I remember the original NSXs when they first came out were like $90,000 or something. I mean, and they only had a 3-liter motor in them.
And that was back in the late 90s, early 2000s when they
Yep.
were existent.
And they were, yeah, it was crazy. They only had a 3-liter motor in them, and they
Oh,
were putting
guys,
my money.
so I see people asking about your blow-off valve. His blow-off valve is not that loud because he is
No.
only 10% exhaust in the
It's
atmosphere.
yeah, it's a hybrid blow-off valve. I only vent 10%. The rest
Yeah.
I circulate through the turbo to keep it spooled up, and that way I don't screw up my mass airflow
It wasn't
sensor.
like my GSX, which had it had that tearing sound like you get with
Yep.
Supras. Because it was 100% blow off.
Yeah, but I was telling him I used to have a 2001 Toyota Corolla. I haven't posted any pictures. I should show you guys sometime just because it had a custom built car PC that was fiberglassed into the dash with the touchscreen. This is back in Windows XP days. And I could program the entire system through applications on Windows. Because normally you'd have a tuner computer.
Yeah.
My tuner was permanently built into the car. So that thing, when I was running Boost on it, I used to call it Zoidberg because every time you let off the gas, it'd be like, woo!
Yeah.
The turbo made this like really crazy sputter noise. And it was ultimately because of a wastegate spring issue, but it was a very unique noise. I miss it.
A lot of people were saying about 150,000 for the NSX.
Jesus.
But that's actually not too bad if it's supercar performance, but it's half the price of, say, a Lamborghini.
Yeah, because it's going to be hybrid electric too, right? So I'm curious to see.
Just like the Porsche was a 918 or whatever it is.
Yeah, or the was it McLaren P1? Mm-hmm. The McLaren P1's kind of in a price range, so that's Jay Leno money right there, guys. If you want that thing, Jay Leno money.
Well, I guess unfortunately it's time for the first Tech Talk in person in the last 8 months to come to an end.
It's time to come to an end, guys, and thank you so much for coming and watching. It has been a blast. It has been a pleasure.
It's been fun.
It's been fun. And for all of you guys that have been nothing but great and supportive to us, we thank you hugely. And to all the people that try to troll us,
you guys are dickholes.
You're dickholes, but you basically help validate us, and we laugh and giggle and stuff and think it's awesome.
Oh, we laugh at your expense, don't worry.
We do. All right, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and roll that outro.
Okay. I think you should be singing something.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Let's get nerdy.
Jethro.
Yeah. This is us getting nerdy. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh yeah.